Jethro, also identified as Reuel, Numbers chapter 10 verse 29, was a priest of Midian. The Midianites were descendants of Abraham through his concubine Keturah, which suggests that some among them still retained knowledge of and reverence for the true God, Jehovah. Jethro's priesthood was evidently not a priesthood to foreign, false gods but rather to the true God, as is indicated by his actions, words, and acknowledgment of Jehovah's hand in Israel's deliverance. His Midianite heritage does not position him as an outsider who introduces pagan elements into Israel's worship. Instead, Jethro proves to be a figure who honors Jehovah and shows sincere appreciation for his mighty acts. This is a critical point highlighted in witness literature: Jethro's positive relationship with the God of the Hebrews. Jethro emerges in Moses' life during the prophet's years of exile from Egypt. After Moses fled from Pharaoh's court, he settled in Midian, where he encountered Jethro's daughters at a well. Moses' kind intervention at that well, as he watered Jethro's flock, opened the door for a family connection. Jethro welcomed Moses into his household, later giving him one of his daughters, Zipporah, in marriage. As the witnesses explain, this union placed Moses firmly within Jethro's family and introduced him to a way of life different from the Egyptian court: the quiet pastoral existence of a Midianite shepherd. During these decades, Moses likely learned humility, patience, and reliance on Jehovah, qualities that would prove essential when he returned to Egypt under Jehovah's directive. After Moses had successfully led the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage, Jethro re-enters the narrative. The Bible account in Exodus chapter 18 shows him visiting Moses in the wilderness after the nation's deliverance. According to witness commentary, this visit is significant for several reasons. First, it reaffirms that Jethro worshipped the true God, Jehovah. When Jethro hears of Jehovah's mighty acts, how he liberated the Israelites and brought them through the Red Sea, Jethro openly praises Jehovah. He offers sacrifices of thanksgiving and acknowledges that there is no God greater than the God of Israel. This acknowledgement from a Midianite priest underscores the universal nature of Jehovah's sovereignty and how people outside of Abraham's immediate line still had access to and could recognize the one true God. Another key moment that the witnesses highlight from Exodus chapter 18 is Jethro's counsel to Moses regarding the administration and governance of the nation. By the time Jethro arrives, Moses finds himself overburdened, judging disputes and making decisions for a population numbering into the millions. Jethro observes this cumbersome process and gently advises a more organized judicial structure. He suggests that Moses delegate responsibility to trustworthy, capable men who fear God, men of honesty and integrity. Moses would handle only the most challenging cases, while these appointed men would judge minor matters. The witnesses emphasize that this counsel, accepted and implemented by Moses, exemplified Jehovah's support for practical wisdom and good organizational structure. It was Jehovah's arrangement that ultimately gave Israel a pattern of orderly governance well before the nation settled in the Promised Land. From a Jehovah's Witness perspective, this delegation of responsibilities can be seen as an early demonstration of how Jehovah uses capable servants to share the load of spiritual and organizational oversight. Much as the Christian congregation in the first century employed elders and ministerial servants to maintain order, this ancient arrangement prefigured the principle of relying on others who are faithful and qualified. Jethro's counsel encourages humility and the acknowledgement that no single person can effectively carry every burden. Witness publications often use this account to illustrate how God's people benefit from sharing responsibilities and how spiritual leaders can learn from the wise counsel of others who share their faith in Jehovah. Additionally, the witnesses note that Jethro's presence at this juncture of the Israelite story highlights something broader. Spiritual insight can come from unexpected sources. While Moses was indisputably chosen by Jehovah as the nation's leader and prophet, Jethro, a Midianite priest not counted among the 12 tribes of Israel, provided indispensable organizational advice. Jehovah allowed and even blessed Moses' acceptance of this input. This teaches a lesson on humility and openness to guidance as long as it aligns with Jehovah's principles. It also shows Jehovah's endorsement of cooperative effort in carrying out large tasks. He does not expect one individual, not even a prophet, to handle enormous assignments without assistance. The witnesses also point out that Jethro is an example of someone who could have been overshadowed in the grand narrative. He was not an Israelite, not a recipient of the law covenant, not among the direct line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yet, he had a meaningful role, demonstrating faith in Jehovah and contributing positively to the early development of the Israelite nation's organization. That he took time to travel, meet Moses, and rejoice in Israel's deliverance marks him as a supportive figure who stands in contrast to other nations that viewed Israel as a threat. Please share and like and please subscribe.